Sauce gang, and welcome back to the channel. Hot Sauce Beats are with a banger MatPat reaction for you. That is right. You guys have been letting me know, hitting up my messages, that MatPat was recently on Wired and did an interview, and it's called MatPat Answers the Web's Most Searched Questions by Wired. We've reacted to multiple YouTubers on this series. Be on hype to check this out. You know we love MatPat, and you know we love Wired's interview. But before we check this out, make sure you show Wired some love by subscribing to their channel. We're trying to get to 250,000 subs. So if you haven't yet, please smash that subscribe button and join the Sauce Gang family. But enough talking, let's get to reacting and roll that bomb ass intro.
Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Eat, sleep, make beats. Eat, sleep, make beats.
Hot Sauce Beats. Woo-hoo. Oh, MatPat, what? I missed you, bro.
Hey,
I
I'm
missed
MatPat,
you.
and this is the Wired autocomplete interview.
Oh, I missed MatPat, dude.
This is a journey in self-discovery today, my friends, so join me.
Join me. Burning questions. I love this.
What is MatPat's full name? Matthew Patrick. People to this day still ask me, what's your name? And it's like, it's right there. It's literally right there.
It's the first three
Wouldn't it be weird if it
first
was
three
like
letters.
Brandon Rogers or something
It
like
would
that?
be.
So MatPat
Is your name
was one of
Brandon
those
Rogers?
things that came about in middle school. So I grew up in Medina, Ohio, and at the time, 2 elementary schools merged into middle school.
What did MatPat?
And all the kids from the other elementary school, they're like, Matthew Patrick, you're MatPat. And all my friends from my original elementary school are like, how did we never think of that? And it just kind of stuck from there. So MatPat became the go-to name. What did MatPat gave the Pope? So infamously,
Give?
about, what, 6 years
What
ago,
did MatPat
I was
give
invited
the
to be a
Pope?
digital ambassador to the Pope. And so I got to meet the Pope. And as representative of the online gaming community, I gave him a Steam code for the game Undertale. Not the physical copy,
Is
mind
the
you.
top of his
the
shirt
Steam
blurred out,
code.
or is that the
For
way
those
the
who don't
shirt
know,
looks?
Undertale is a game all about solving problems with pacifist solutions, where it's not just about fighting and killing, but actually like coming to agreements with people and finding out what they need and having conversations with them.
MatPat's such a
which
pimp.
felt like a really good
met the Pope,
example
bro.
of the positive messaging that gaming can have. What is MatPat favorite game? At this point, so much
joking.
of the games that I play have been for work. Things that need
Mario,
feelings
maybe?
about or are popular games.
Zelda.
But my
I
two
think
favorite
Zelda?
games are Chrono Trigger and Earthbound from the
Ah, I knew that. I think one of his last videos, I think he talked about Chrono Trigger. I should have.
Super Nintendo era. Chrono Trigger is a game all about time travel and manipulating the future and saving the world from an alien threat.
talked about
And
that in his
Earthbound
last
is
game theory, I
basically
think.
A wacky adventure of you with psychic powers going around your hometown, fighting giant ants and evil moles, and again saving the world from an evil alien power. What is MatPat known for? I'm the nerdy guy online who says, but that's just a theory. A
game theory.
Or film
Thanks
theory,
for
fallacy
watching.
theory, etc. I'm the theory guy.
Thanks for
on YouTube. I
watching.
take science, math, history, and deep nerdy research and fuse it with nerdy topics like movies, TV, video games, things like that to come up with wacky
I miss you,
solutions.
MatPat. And
What
hey,
does MatPat do?
I'm allowed to miss MatPat. It's okay. So I don't want to. I don't know. Some people give bad comment. Let him retire. I know he's retired. Like, I'm happy for him. I can still miss
Now,
him.
I am retired. I retired about 3 weeks ago as we're recording this. It is great.
Perfect.
What does that
I'm
mean?
proud of you, dude.
That means that I have less time spent in a recording booth, polishing and writing episodes, and it gives me more time to pursue things like the podcast that I do and collaborations like this and the mystery lo-fi project that I have going on, or Creators in Fashion, where we spotlit a bunch of different creators who are doing amazing work in the apparel space. So really at this point, my
That's
job has
just a
transitioned away
theory.
from online talent and online personality and into a creator who is telling cool stories and trying to uplift the next generation of creators.
Great transition.
Where did
Seamless.
the MatPat PNG come from? I was one of, if not the first PNG tuber. That is you using a like flat cutout of yourself and animating it around on screen so that way you don't have to appear on camera. And that really was born out of when I started my channel. I was destitute in New York and in between jobs, and I didn't have money for good camera equipment, good lighting, things like that. And so I didn't like the way that I looked.
arguably is one of the things
And
that
so
made
I'm
his
let me just
channel
do everything
stand
in
out.
video. And then just we inserted this little PNG of me to represent me on camera, right? So that image has persisted and withstood the test of time. I think I can maybe do it again. It's like, I don't know if I'm getting the angle right, but this is updated for 2024. When did MatPat retire? A couple weeks ago,
days
I
ago,
did my last
or 3
video.
weeks.
It was March 9th, 2024. and it has been great. It has been so wonderful and celebratory to have this time, and so thank you. Thank you for 13 years, and I am so excited for what the next couple have to offer. Why is MatPat so smart? I feel like that is not necessarily a sentiment that is shared across a wide swath of the internet, so thank you. What I would say is I was lucky enough to have parents and teachers that really fostered a sense of curiosity in me when I was growing up. They told me that school was my job and that, you know, the best thing to be in life is a lifelong learner and to question everything. I recognized that I was in a really fortunate position where not a lot of people have that support around them. And so if I can serve as that to the next generation of people watching online video, that's awesome. How does MatPat
That's why he's so awesome, dude.
edit his videos? Poorly and slowly. I believe the videos that I edited myself were compared to a bad PowerPoint presentation at one point. That's why we hired on a lot of editors, my friends. I recognized early on, about maybe 2 or 3 years into my YouTube career, that I was not an editor. And for me to actually make the show what I had always envisioned it could be, I would need years of practice and training, and I just didn't have that. And so that's when we partnered up with one of my earliest collaborators. His name was Ronnie Edwards, and he was an expert in Flash animation. And he was the man who truly made game theory look the way that I always wanted it to look.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Together, the show was able to really thrive and grow. And at this point, now with us producing between 11 and 13 videos every single week, so that's unsustainable and why I had to retire. At this point, we have an army of around 20 editors.
Literally!
And they are fantastic. They're some of the most talented people in the world. And as a result, it's one of those things where the editors now have their own editing school where they train up the next generation of editors, and it's kind of a rite of passage.
That's actually low-key
in a lot of
brilliant,
ways, to
dude.
bring in kind of like the upcoming group of editors.
Transition.
Is MatPat coming back to YouTube? Yes and no. Yes, insofar
Periodically,
as
he will
I'm
be
popping on for new projects. You know, I just did this fashion show over on Style Theory and Game Theory where we spotlit a bunch of creators doing awesome work in the apparel space. There's a new project that's going to be launching in a couple weeks. It's this music mystery project where it's a lo-fi channel and you can lean back and relax and do homework to it, but hidden in the cracks of it, there's a mystery and a narrative attached to it for all you lore hounds out there. So is there a day where I might start a new channel?
Sounds
Maybe,
interesting.
but not for a long, long time. Is MatPat's? Is MatPat on Jeopardy?
It's a game theory.
500,000 people signed a petition to get me on Jeopardy. Nothing. Not even like the college tournament.
Half a million?
Come on, throw me a bone, man. It has always been a life goal of mine to be a game show host. I think it would be super fun. I love playing games, but I also love hosting games. And then someone else connected us with people from Jeopardy. And they never got back to our emails. So, you know, I feel like that's
we want MatPat on Jeopardy!
Is MatPat a millennial? Very clearly.
Yes.
Yes. You can tell a person's generation by what they call Instagram, but I'm not cool for any of those, so I just call it Instagram. But we have members on our team that keep me hip with the trends. We have Ash on our team, who's our resident Gen Z. And so anytime I'm like, hey, is this chuggy to say? She's like, the fact that you called it chuggy is chuggy. All right, duly noted. Is MatPat in the new FNAF movie? Yes, yes I am. It was an incredible experience. Never before in my life would I have imagined that I would be able to be on an actual
So epic he was
set
on FNAF,
of that
dude.
size, of that caliber. And not only to be in a movie, but then to see reaction compilations of people seeing me in the movie and theaters like erupting in cheers. I am at 28 minutes and 22 seconds into the movie, and the go-to line there is the classic line that I say all the time. But hey, you know, it's
That's
just a theory.
theory.
And audiences really enjoyed that.
I would
Well,
know,
again,
if I was in a
that
movie, I would know the exact
I
time
don't know.
too.
Time will tell. My schedule's open, Scott. Transition. All right. Does MatPat have a podcast?
Yes.
Kind of. Our GT Live channel, which is our live streaming channel, I've always kind of run as a podcast where, yes, there's gaming attached to it, but really I want there to be a large conversational component at the beginning, at the end, so that way it feels like you're just hanging out on the couch. So that is probably the closest thing that we produce. I am also the official host of Like and Describe, YouTube's first official trends podcast. But no, do I personally have an official podcast? No, I don't. I host one, I have a live stream, but I do not have one. Does MatPat regret selling his channel? For context, I sold the Theorist brand and the Theory channels to a company named Lunar X at the end of 2022. Do I regret it? Not in the slightest. It was the single best decision that I could have possibly made. The ability to kind of scale out what we've been doing and have more resources to attack more of these projects that were outside of my personal expertise, our team's personal expertise, our wheelhouses, has been wonderful. One of the things that you don't really appreciate until you're in the position is when you employ people, that's a heavy burden, and that's a huge responsibility to take on. And so to be able to offload some of that responsibility,
they're living, you know, their families rely on you.
And to know that there was financial stability there, to know that they were experts in hiring and processes and this and that, has been tremendous. MatPat movies and TV shows. The Five Nights at Freddy's movie is probably one of the biggest ones and the most known of all of those. I also did another movie called Hero Mode, where I played myself as an online commentator talking about like, oh, this game company's making terrible decisions. I'm in 2 Transformers series, 2 animated series featuring the Transformers. And like, that's a huge deal. Like, in fact, Mark Hamill is one of the voices in one of those series. So it's like, oh my gosh, I did a project with
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
Star Wars.
Squint at it. We were at booths in probably separate parts of the world at 2 very different times.
Watching the premiere.
But we worked together. MatPat sub count. I honestly don't know. We have so many damn channels. I think by last total ended up being about 41 million across the YouTube channels. And then on Twitter, I think I'm like 5 million followers, and then on Instagram it's 1 million. And so in total it's probably around like 50 million. At the end of the day, the thanks goes back to you. Without you watching, without you subscribing, without you clicking on that video, giving us a chance, we wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to employ all those people. I wouldn't be able to have a team of 20 editors and like a full staff of like 40 people around us to make the videos that we do. So you're welcome. Without you, none of it's possible.
Thank you, bro.
You guys.
Thank you, MatPat.
And I think this is the last board. Who did MatPat marry? I married a beautiful woman named Stephanie Cordato, now Stephanie Patrick. She's my best friend. She is my partner in everything. We met in college. We met programming video games together, funny enough. We both needed an extra math credit in college, and neither of us wanted to take calculus. It would have been like 3D calculus, and it's like, why? That's stupid. So instead we took this course that was considered to be an easy A. It was video game programming. We ended up sitting next to each other in the class, while everyone else was coasting through the class because it was very much an easy A course. Steph and I were the tryhards of the group. The 2 of us kept trying to out-compete each other for best game in the class every week, but the final project was you had to partner with someone in the class. We ended up partnering with each other. Everyone else did like 1 level of a basic mini golf game. We did a 5-level quest with 8 enemy types, all with different attack patterns, scrolling backgrounds, and a final boss battle with multiple phases. It was second half of freshman year in college, and we've been hanging out together ever since. Who bought MatPat's channel? Yeah. Who bought MatPat's channel? It's a company named Lunar X. They see YouTube brands as kind of the next generation of the biggest brands in the world, both entertainment-wise and product-wise. And they're able to kind of deliver the resources, manpower, and expertise of really scaling those out and doing things that we ourselves always wanted to do, but we're holding ourselves back on. And last and hopefully not least, who is Ash to MatPat? Ash is our resident Zoomer. Ash is 24. They are my co-host and producer on our GT Live channel. To me, our relationship is one of older statesman and younger person teaching me how to stay up with the times. They tell me when I have to transition away from using the word drip, and just in general keeping me up to date. That
sweater's drippy, bro.
Of TikTok memes. So we're gonna toss it slightly off camera so I don't knock
anything.
Let's go! I definitely ruined something behind the camera at this point. Thank you, Wired, for this autocomplete interview, and I will see you next time. And that's not a theory. That right there.
Game theory.
That's a fact. See ya.
Thanks for watching. Watching the facts. Let me bring you in, chat. Dude, this was awesome. Thank you so much, everyone who's recommended this. Again, you know we've all missed MatPat. It was great to see this and just kind of see, you know, a personal side of him answering questions from the fans. And I wish him nothing but the best of luck on his future endeavors. And I'm actually pretty excited about this lo-fi channel. You know, the lore. What will we find out? So Let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed this. I had a blast reacting to this, but make sure you show Wired some love by subscribing to the channel. We're trying to get to 250,000,000 subs. So if you haven't yet, please smash that subscribe button and join the Sauce Gang family. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, evening, and remember, it's Eat, Sleep, and Make Beats, and as usual, be counting on another. That's all I got. Boom, I'm out. Got him love for the Sauce Gang. Peace out, chat. Boy.